Good evening. How everyone doing today? God is good and God is good all the time. My name is Irma J. Spirits Around. I'm here to give you some news on today. Um, we're gonna talk about the economics and inflation. And we're gonna talk about the police background procedure. First, inflation. It's the highest forecast. In the Bloomberg, so surveying economics expert consumer price increase to remain at above 5%. By the end of 2023, while the lowest showed them dropping to 1.5%. So they're gonna drop to 1.5%. They say pretty much at the end of 2023. So economic plan one, the employment. Trying to get many people working as possible to keep everything up at a no at a decent number. So everywhere I go, I see so many hiring signs just everywhere. It's like soon everywhere you go, it's like so many people is hiring. So I was wondering is like for all the business all over the nation, you know, you could take all your hiring positions and take it to job service and have them place it on a list. So everyone that go to job service, they can look on that list, and we can start getting all these people hired and get all these people jobs. Because you have so many people at job service looking at the list. So you can get those people to be working. So because there's jobs out there. It's so many hiring signs out there. So you can just take all your positions that you hiring and take it to job service and have them to place it on a list. And so because so many people be there. We can keep so many people working. Because everywhere you go, it's shortage. Shortage everywhere. So that's for the employment. There's jobs for everyone because like everywhere you go, someone is hiring. To have a shortage. So in inflation reduction, we had that. The this new insulin, reduction that will help anyone who are diabetic. Because they get a monthly check a month, and the insulin was so expensive. So Mr. President Bennett had brought it to the attention, and I had posted it quite a while ago, and it finally had came to pass. So the insulin monthly, cost would be $35. It was way more than that. It's very expensive with insulin. Because some people had to take it twice a day, some people had to take it once a day. But you got to get this for a whole month, so now you got dropped down to $35 a month. Also insulin prescription. For to get the prescription, it will be covered. By your Medicaid Part D plan. So this will do support of inflation reduction. Just got a reduction, so when it got down to $35 a month. We're trying to do a lot of reduction on a lot of monthly things because inflation is so high, and a lot of not a lot of people, a lot of us, you know, it's so expensive. Everything is so high now, and then we already have our own monthly bills, check off for the month. So we have to start doing a reduction on a whole lot of our monthly bills that we do every month. You know, to try to keep everything up, to have everyone can still able to still be shopping and do what you need to do. So rate the inflation, the rate of increase in prices. They're the one that go up, increasing with the prices. So living expenses had increased. It had increased rapidly. So one, we got the supermarket. It goes in the supermarket. Market. Get your regular packs of meat that you normally get. It's sky high. Everything in a supermarket is the prices had an increase so high. The food, the product, the meat, everything had increased. So that's why on your make a list or your monthly bills a month. and see what you can check out. If you don't watch TV that much, you can kind of take the cable off. You have to do a reduction on a whole lot of stuff because your living expenses, like the supermarket. That increase that is so high. If you go to the supermarket and try to get your normal stuff that you normally used to get be a regular price, now that price done triple. So then the second one, you have energy. You had the energy had increased rapidly too. So and then three, your gas. The gas the gas is up and down. Sometimes it'll go down. Next thing you know, the price will go back up. So it's like waving. So we have to cut back on certain monthly things, like I was just telling you. To keep up with our living expenses. So you can still be able to shop at the supermarket. And get personal shopping stuff that some of us probably ain't shop in a while because our monthly expenses is just so expensive for us to try to even keep up with it. Not all, but some of us. So the living expenses increase. Because of inflation, inflation had rise. So that means when they go up on the prices, you know, that's when the stores have to decrease on their prices. So that's how they go. So inflation is so high, where the stores and everything else have to go up on their prices to make a good living. So then we have wow, you having the living expenses so expensive. So then you got the federal minimum wage. Now the minimum wage in New Orleans is still $7.25 an hour. So the minimum wage it have to change since you got all these living expenses. Inflation done went up, so it means the stores and everything else prices have to decrease higher. You know, so minimum wage have to change due to high living expenses. With inflation went up. When they go up, everybody else have to go up so they can make a decent pay, make a decent product to live off. So I request that minimum wage change to 11.25 an hour. So they can you know, keep up with their bills. And still be able to buy expensive meat. Now, not expensive meat, but it had the price and it went up. So now it's expensive. So we also gonna talk about to police across the nation. Background procedure. First we're gonna talk about hiring police. From day on forward, hiring police. We have to force a background check. For check for mental health. Because we have so many cops killing so many innocent people. And they're doing it out of anger. We're seeing so much anger in them as they doing it. So we have to check for that. Too, we have to check for the other job that they went to and when they worked to. We have to check that because a lot of time they been and did the same incident somewhere else. And they just go to another state and work as a cop somewhere else. So sometimes we have to check for that when it's this obstacle just constantly keep on going on and on if you don't check it. So um, if they have perceived the same incident at another job, they cannot work. We have to check on the other jobs. So I request if they kill an innocent person, and they get fired, and get charged for that crime, I request that they don't work at another police station all across the nation. Because they could do something horrible here, and then get fired, get charged for it, and they get out and they go to another state and receive that same position. And it's a lot of places not checking background checks, and they get hired, until they do it again in that site, and then they do a background check, so you also we doing it backwards. Not do a background check when an incident happened. We need to do a background check before. See what happened at the last job. Because we see it's a pattern that they're going from job to job. You know, so I request that if they kill an innocent person, you know, um, and they get fired for that, and they get charged for that crime. You know, I request that they do not be a police officer at another state. You know, because we have to start enforcing these background checks. You know, so no chokehold, no beating and stomping, no human being. You know, no taser. You know, all these things I named are not required. You know, so this are the news I have for you today. You know, we talked about economic and inflation and the police background procedure. You know, if when inflation go up, you know, the stores and everything else have to go up. You know, because they have to make a decent um they had to make a decent living for they got to make a product of their stuff. They have to sell it. You know, they have to sell it and make a good decent price off it. You know, so when inflation go up, they make it hard for us. You know, because everything everywhere we go, things is the prices is going up. You know, and so they have, you know, for employment. You know, I don't know what the numbers is. I will check again and give an update, you know, for the employment. But they have plenty of jobs out here. You know, I just need all businesses who have employment, have hiring employment and stuff, you know, to take it to job service and have them to place it on the list. You know, so whoever come there looking for a job, you know, we can start filling out these positions. You know, so inflation reduction, we had a reduction of new insulin had came out. You know, making it easier for the elders. You know, 'cause they get a monthly check a month. You know, so they dropped the insulin down to $35 a month. So I think that was a good idea that Mr. President Bennett had came out with. You know, he also came out with the insulin. You know, $35 a month, and for to get your prescription filled, you know, it will cover on your Medicaid Part D plan. You know, so you have, you know, he got all this here set up. You know, so I think that's a good deal. You know, so we always talk about, now we talking about the inflation, how the inflation went up. And when they go up, everybody else had to decrease on their prices. You know, so we talked about the living expenses, like the supermarket. You know, the meat, everything. You know, them went up. Prices went up. Your energy bill. You know, all that had to went up. You know, the gas. The gas is up and then it's down and then it's back up again. You know, so I was saying you make a list of your monthly bills. You know, whatever you feel least that you don't deal with. Like if you don't watch TV too much, you know, you don't need the cable. Cut that out. You know, write the list down so you can see what you want to keep and what you need to cut loose. Yeah, you know. So and also require for minimum wage. You know, if inflation at a certain amount, the minimum wage have to go up. You know, it have to change. And we just talk about the polices, you know, killing innocent people. You know, they get fired, they get charged, but then when they get out, they're going to another state and still working as a police somewhere else. You know, and I request that they get fired and charged. That I request they do not work at another state as a police officer. You know, um, so that's all the news I have for you on today. You know, and y'all have a blessed and safe day, and I see y'all on the next video.